You hear me? No. So the last class where we stopped, what we discussed in the last class. Last class we discussed about what is callback, what is higher order, what is anonymous function, all these things we discussed or not. Yes or no? Okay. So anyone have any questions? You can unmute and you can talk for 5 minutes. Anyone have any questions?
Excuse me, sir.
One by one.
Sir, can you tell something more about that anonymous functions and how it can be useful and used where?
Anonymous functions are like no-name functions. Okay. Exactly where we are going to use means, for example, I have one functionality is there. I have one functionality is there where we can write the functionality inside the function. If you write a named function, this functionality can misused by some other people. Like this also they can call it or not. Yes or no? If there is no name, then the time is it possible to directly call by using the name? No, right? So if it is like anonymous function, then the time how it is possible to call? One is like, okay, you can ask him to call itself. Okay, directly you can ask him. Another one is like you can give this function to some other person like a callback. Got my point? Simply you can say like the anonymous functions are like no name functions. No name functions. Okay, where exactly we are going to use means whatever the named functions we can do, whatever the named functions can do, the same thing we can do by using anonymous functions also. Okay, if it is a named function, anyone can call by using the name if I know the name. Okay, if it anonymous function, okay, name is not there, so that you can ask him to call itself. The another one is like you can pass as an argument to some other person. That is not the possible or not. Got my point?
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please tell me how to create and how we call anonymous function?
1 second. Yeah. Can you repeat the question again?
Sir, can you please tell how to create anonymous function and how to call? Actually, I'm new in JavaScript.
We discussed already, right? Did you practice or not? Did you attend the last class?
Yes, sir.
Then?
Actually, I not understand, sir.
This is the actual function, right? Did you practice what we discussed?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the videos?
No, sir.
Then you can pay the fee for videos also. If you're not able to understand for one time, you have to repeat multiple times the same class. You have to listen. If it is not possible, okay, if it is not able to understand, okay, see this. This is the named function, right? Okay, console.log of f1. This is the one. Okay, so how we can call this function? We can call like this. If the function name is not there, that type of functions what we can say? If the function name is not there, that type of functions what we can say? anonymous functions or not. If it is a anonymous function, that means no name. Can I call with the name? If the name is not there, how we can call it? It is not possible, right? Yes or no? It's not possible, right? So how we can call one anonymous function? This is the anonymous function. How we can call it means, okay, there has multiple ways are there. One is like self-invoking, means you can call here itself. See, here two parts are there. This is one part. This is another part. This is another part. Okay, this is the function, right? This is the function, right? Okay, this should be what? This should be what? Okay, this is the function call. If it is a function call, the prefix should be what? A function, right? It is a function or not? Say this. It is which kind of function? Anonymous function, right? Agree with me? So this is
Sir, just problem. Yeah, what if there are multiple anonymous functions are there?
write one more multiple anonymous function. Hmm.
So how we can, sir, differentiate between both?
Which one? This is their own functionality. This is their own functionality. Like this. If you execute this function, okay, this functionality will execute. Okay. If you execute this function, this functionality is going to perform.
Okay, but sir, in that case, we have to call the function immediately after the creation. Like when we define the function, then immediately we have to call.
It is called as a self-invoking. If it is a self-invoking, immediately you can call it.
Okay.
Another way of calling is callbacks. Okay, how we can write the callback? I have a function f1 of here. Okay. This is the one. Can anyone talk about function f1? Name of the function. Name of the function is what?
F1, yeah.
What? Number of arguments. Number of arguments.
One.
Type of argument. Type of arguments. First
Function.
argument type is what?
Function.
First argument type is what? One argument only. Okay. What is my first argument? No type. Okay. In JavaScript, there is no type. But as a developer, you can say this is which type, right? Based on the usage. Based on the usage, you can say. How we can use it? Based on the usage. Based on the usage. Come on. You are using like this means, okay, this A should be what? A function or not? So my first argument is a function type or not? Yes, sir? Okay, then. How to call? How to call? Come on. How you can call a function? Like this. Like this. Okay. If you call like this, what is the value of my A? What is the A value? A value is what?
Undefined, sir.
If you not pass anything, okay, what is my default value for the variable? Undefined. Undefined. Okay, then what is the error message? What is the error message? The error message is what?
A is not a function.
Perfect. A is not a function. Why? You are expecting a first argument like a function. You passed undefined, so that expecting value is a function. Okay. Received what? Undefined. So A is not a function or not. Got my point? If I pass 10, what is my A value?
A value of F1 is 10.
Okay. Will it give the output, proper output, or it gives me an error message?
Error message again.
Value is a function. Received what? Okay. Number. A is not a function or not. Okay. If I call like this, can I create one more function? Any problem? No problem, right? if I call like this, okay, now what is my a value? A value is what? A value is what? Simply a value is what? F2. F2. Okay, my F2 is which type? 10 is a number type. F2 is which type?
Function.
It's a function. So A is expecting what?
Function.
Okay, passed what? Function.
F2.
F2 means function only. So that will it give you an error? Will it give you an error?
No.
A value is F2. Okay, now it gives me an error message or it is like executing. My F2 is nothing but A. You are calling A is nothing but indirectly you are calling F2. So my output is like what? My output is like what? My output is like what? F2 or not? My output is like F2 or not? Agreed? If you have like okay, something like this, what is this one? What you can say this is? This is what you can say. This is what you can say. It is a function. It is a function. What kind of function this is? Anonymous.
Anonymous function.
This anonymous function, can I pass to my F1 like this? Any problem? Okay. What is my A value? What is my A value? What is my A value? A value is what? My anonymous function or not? Anonymous function or not? Okay. Now my A value is like anonymous function. So my A is pointing to this function or not? So my A is pointing to this function. If you are calling A is nothing but you are calling what? You are calling this anonymous function. You can write whatever you want. So my output is like what? Yes or not? Got my point? Okay. Here my F2, what we can say? Here my F2, what we can say? Here my F2 is what? Here my F2 is
Callback.
callback function or F1 is what?
Higher order function.
Higher order function.
Function or not? My F1 is what now here? Higher order function. Here this is what? A callback function or not? Yes, sir. Agree with me? Okay, you can write some running notes if you want to revise something like that.
Sir, when I create an anonymous function in a console, it is it is actually throwing an error. It is telling like function statements require a function name. So like how does it work? Like it can be created and also it can be called immediately, right? We can't create.
Yeah, if you call like this is the error you may get it syntactically. Okay, so if you create a anonymous function individual, okay, anonymous function, you can enclose these brackets. Okay, now this is the function.
Oh, okay.
Okay, syntactical error. Okay, see who want to practice after the class. Okay, just write some running notes. Write some running notes. Okay, otherwise you can take the screenshots immediately.
సార్ ఇదే సేవ్ చేసి ఆ క్లాస్ రూమ్ పెడతా అవుతుంది కదా సార్ టుడే క్లాస్.
Okay, I can do that one. Okay, you also do some work from your end.
సార్
Okay, that videos, YouTube videos also there. You can go through that one. If you go through that one, you can easily understand. Okay, the same thing only I'm explaining here.
If we have a normal functions, why anonymous came into the picture, sir? And what is the use compared to the normal functions?
That's what I'm telling, right? If the anonymous, if the function name is there, anybody can call it. Anybody call it without knowing the function definition. We can call it or not. But if it is an anonymous function, if it is a named function, anybody call, right? If you know the name. But if the anonymous function is there, without knowing anonymous function, can we call it? No, right? No, right?
Yeah.
Okay, security purpose only one function is there. Okay, have some functionality. One time you say something like that, then the time you can go with the anonymous function. If you want to use multiple places, okay, then the time you can create the named function. You can call it wherever you want.
Okay. So if you're using anonymous function, we have to use it immediately, right? In the same method or same.
Wherever the anonymous function you defined, okay, from there only your execution is going to start. For example, this is my anonymous function. Here I defined, okay, I'm going to execute like this. Here I defined, I pass as a argument to my F1, it is going to call like this. Got my point?
Yeah, okay, sir. It's just like a variable we are passing, right?
Yeah, like an argument.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Okay, any questions, anyone? Anyone facing any issues to use the console? What? Yeah, yeah. No, see, A, see here, A is a function, that's it. That may be a named function or anonymous function, it is not a matter. A is expecting a function. Okay, okay. Here, am I told like A is a named function only, A is like an anonymous function only, not like that, right? A is a function that can be named function, that can be anonymous function. Got my point? I didn't get single mail also from anyone. Okay, while practicing, if you face some issue, obviously you can get the issues, but no one send a mail. For practicing or not?
Yes, sir. Practicing, sir.
Okay.
So I have a use case. It's not related to JavaScript or anything. Okay. There is a page. It contains the header, home, contact us, some other things. So whenever I click on the home or contact us, it will redirect to the same page, right? Again. So the text has to be highlighted. So how can I achieve it using CSS, sir?
By using only CSS, it's not possible. Which menu item you clicked, for that particular menu item, you have to add in CSS plus dynamically by using JavaScript or by using React.
Okay, we can have an on-click event. I have added it, sir.
On-click event you have to add, and you have to get the clicked element, and for that clicked element, you have to add your CSS class. Your CSS class. Okay, I will tell all these things will cover.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Okay, any questions, anyone?
సార్ ఇప్పుడు ఎనామినేషన్ ఫంక్షన్ ని మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ కాల్ చేయొచ్చా మనం అంటే రీయూజబిలిటీ
No, right. Okay, here no function name, so that here directly we are not able to call with the name multiple places. Wherever you want the same function, you have to repeat. Here if you want to call, you can write it. In another place, if you want to call, one more time you have to write like this, you can call it.
అంటే ఒకే ఫంక్షన్ ని
That's the reason I told, like one time operation only there, better to go with anonymous function. One time operation only. I have functionality, I want to use one time, I want to call it, then you can go with multiple times. If you want the same function, I don't want to write every time function, right? Then that time you can create a named function, you can call it.
ఓకే సార్
Okay, agreed with me, everyone?
ఎస్ సార్
Okay, best example. Okay, here, okay, I have a function f1. Okay, console.log of f1. I want to 4 times that f1. Okay, you can simply call it 4 times. Yes, sir. Simply call it 4 times. But the same requirement if you want by using anonymous function. Okay, the same output I want f1, I want 4 times. Will it give output 4 times or not? This one time, this one. The same requirement if you want to do by using anonymous functions, then go on. You can remove this f1. Okay, you have to call it. we have to call it. Now one function called. That means F1 printed. The next one one more time. Next one more time. The next one more time. Okay. Now which one is easy for you in this requirement? This approach or this approach? Or it's me F1s only. Which approach better? This one, right? Named, right? One functionality, if you want to use multiple times, create as a named function, call it. One functionality only one time, I don't want to expose the name to outside person to call it, then the best option is what? Anonymous function. Got my point?
तो यदि anonymous function को एक variable में डाल देंगे तो
Yeah,
उसको
then
variable
if you assign that one to variable, by using variable you can call it.
तो उसमें तो code कम हो जाता है.
Okay, then that time it's like a variable. It's like a variable where a equals to function. Now it's like a variable, right? A is a variable, holds a function. Okay, now you can call how many times you want. Now you are using a variable, not anonymous function, right? A contains anonymous function. That is okay, fine. But you are pointing to your anonymous function or you are pointing to your variable A?
Pointing to a variable A.
A, right? Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, here instead of calling it so many times, we can return it. No, sir, as we discussed in the previous slide.
Which one? Yeah, you can. Okay, return is not there. Return is not there. I have a functionality. Okay. For example, okay, here 15, okay, 20 lines of code is there. After that, every time 20 lines of code, you have to write it, right? It is not a recommended one. No?
Yes.
That's my point. Okay,
yes,
in your requirement, only one-time operations are there. For that one function is required, then the time you can go with the self-invoking anonymous functions. In your requirement is like that. One time only I want to use it. Okay? All agree with me? I will tell. So many places we are going to use these anonymous functions. Don't worry. All are agreed? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, please just explain. You have just explained where A is equal to anonymous function. Sir, please explain once time also. But I'm not getting that.
Where A equals to 10. What is my value? Is there any name is there for this function?
No.
No, it is like my C holds which value? One anonymous function or not.
Okay, so how
C is like a function. Okay, what I can do with the function? If you want to get the service, you can call it. Then the time yeah, any concern? So these are the basic things you have to practice first. You have to practice. Okay, this is not only for React. Any UI related technologies, libraries, frameworks, whatever it is, JavaScript is important.
Sir, I have a question here. So we have a function. It is not accepting any arguments. Okay, but I'm calling a function with argument, even though it is not any compilation error.
Yeah.
I mean, the error.
Why? Because in JavaScript there is no overloading concept. In Oops, we are going to cover that one. In JavaScript there is no overloading concept. That's the reason it is not considered the arguments list. You got my point? So it is expecting to, if you not pass to, it's not throwing any error. You are not expecting, but you are passing some values, then the time also it is not throwing any error.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And one more thing, sir. These functions, anonymous, all this was introduced in JavaScript 6 or before that only?
Before that only. It's like before that only.
Okay. So are you going to cover ES6 concept also, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions, anyone? Okay, then. Let's move.
Hello.
Yeah.
So now bootstrap లో డౌట్ ఉంది లైక్ కాలమ్ కి ఆఫ్సెట్ కి డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి సార్?
Offset is nothing but it is going to leave some space and then it is going to start. Offset is nothing but leave some space. Okay, like this. Can anyone explain why offset is required? Can anyone? There has 12
Space
parts.
बनाने के
For
लिए.
giving the space.
Yeah, there has 12 parts are there. This is the row. I want to leave. Okay, first, okay, these are like 7 parts. First 7 parts I want to leave. I want to place the content here. I want to place some content here. I want to place some content here. Leave some space and place the content here. Now this space you want to leave, right? Then how we can leave it? Okay,
Offset SM
offset for each resolution. How many spaces you want me to leave it?
7.
After that you can, okay, remaining how many? Call SM. Okay, how many? 5.
5.
Okay, that 5 spaces you can use the content. 7 spaces you can leave the content. Oh, that means space, empty space only.
ఇదే మనం కాలమ్ కూడా రాయచ్చు కాలమ్ మీద క్లిక్ చేసి 7 రాయచ్చు.
You can write it, but extra one more, okay, div one column is required, right? One more is required or not required? One more is required or not required?
Yeah.
1 second. Yeah, I'm back. So any other questions?
ఫ్లెక్స్ బాక్స్ టాపిక్ ఎప్పుడు కవర్ చేస్తారు?
Second?
ఫ్లెక్స్ బాక్స్.
Flex, I will tell. Okay, then let's start. So my question is very simple. My browser can understand, okay, what things? My browser can understand. HTML can understand, right? Say this. These are the tags my browser can understand or not, default. Okay. For every element there has some CSS is there. That CSS also my browser can understand or not. Okay. On my HTML elements, if you want to perform some operations in the source tab, if you observe the JS files also my browser can understand or not. Yes, sir. Okay, my browser can understand only 3 things. Okay, HTML elements it can understand, CSS properties it can understand. The next one is like what? The next one is like what? Some JavaScript code it can understand. Other than that, my browser don't know anything. Got my point? My browser can understand only 3 things. Other than that, my browser don't know anything. So far what we discussed, with that knowledge, I want to write one simple hello world React. Okay, hello world program by using React. Got my point? One simple hello world program by using React.
Yeah.
Okay, React is like a client-side technology or server-side technology? Yeah.
Client-side technologies.
Server-side technology. React is a client-side technology or not? By using,
Yes, sir.
we can prepare some content that is rendered inside the browser or not? First initial days, why we go for React? We already discussed it, right? Already we discussed it, right? Okay, what is web application? What is web application? What is web application? My web application is like a client and server communication application. Here my client is like always browser or not? My client is always inside the browser or not? Yes or no? It is a client and server communication application. Now say this. Okay, it is a client and server application. This is the client and this is the server. It is a client and server communication application. My client is always, it's a browser or not. My client is like always a browser or not. Okay. Now inside the browser, which technologies are going to run by default? My browser can understand only three things, right? What are those? HTML and CSS and JavaScript. My browser can understand only three things. By default, my browser don't know about the React.js. By default, my Angular, okay, by default, my browser don't know about the Angular. Okay, but these two also running where? Inside the browser only or not? How it is possible means somebody help to make it understand by the browser or not. Okay, okay, let's start. Now, I want to create one simple hello world program by using React. So, hello world, that text where it should be rendered. That means where we can see that render, where we can see the output, where we can see the output. If it is like a client side application, okay, if it is like a client side application, where we can see the output, where we can see in the browser or not. In the browser, which files are going to run? In the browser, which files are going to run? Okay, loading is different, running is different. Okay, HTML files, CSS files, JS files are going to load, but running which files? HTML files are going to run or not? In the HTML files, okay, my CSS and my JS are going to load or not? In the bootstrap, if you observe, see this. Okay, in the CSS, in the bootstrap.html accordion, if you take, this is the main HTML file. Inside that one we load in my browser, HTML files are going to run. Okay, through HTML we can load the CSS as well as JS or not. Got my point? Got my point? Okay, let's create one file first. Okay, let's create one file. Hello. Okay, dot HTML. Okay, initial, okay, first 10 to 15 days we are following this approach. After that we are going to create an application. Okay, follow this approach for practice. Okay, hello dot HTML. Okay, what's our requirement? What's our requirement? Tell me. H1 hello world. This is my requirement. In my browser, I want to see the hello world text. Okay, will it gives me the output or not? Will it gives you the output or not? Come on. Hello world, will it gives you the output or not? Check it.
Yes, sir. It gives.
Yes, but you prepared this content by using React, by using HTML. You prepared this content by using HTML, right? But my requirement is not like this. My requirement is what? I want to prepare this content by using React, not by using HTML or not. Yes, sir? All are agreed with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. Now, inside this browser, this hello world text visible, right? Okay. This hello world text related code where we can see this hello world. This is the content. This content related code where we can see.
Developer console.
It's a developer console window. Okay, you can dock in the bottom. Okay. Now, here I can see in the developer console window, in which tab we can see it? In the elements tab or not?
Yes, sir.
The elements tab. Okay, in the elements tab, okay, in which section? In the which section my H1 placed? In the body section or not? So whatever my body contains, that particular content only visible to the end user or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Whatever my body, okay, has that particular okay, code related content only visible to the end user or not? Got my point? Okay, if you want to show something to the end user, that particular content should be inside body or not? Yes or no? If you want to show some content to the end user in the browser, that particular content should place inside which tag?
Body tag.
Body tag, right? Then only, right, that is visible. If it is not inside the body, is it visible? Is it visible to you? Is it
No,
visible
sir.
to the user? No, right? Okay, no. So that I needed one, okay, some space inside the body. I needed some space inside the body. Okay, let me explain like this. Don't save it. This is my elements tab, HTML, and close my HTML. Okay, here, which tag? Head is there. Close my head. Okay, the next one is what? Body is there. Body is there. And close my body. Close my body. Here, here. Okay, this is your elements tab. By default contains these elements or not. Okay, now if you want to show something inside the browser, if you want to show some content inside the browser, that content related code should place inside which section?
Body section.
Body section or not. So I needed some space in the body. Okay, so I have a content. I want to prepare that content by using React. That content I want to place inside the body. So that inside the body, first of all, I need some space to place my React content. So inside the body, can I take one div? Can I close my div? Inside the body, can I place it? So inside the body, this is my div. Inside this div, I want to place the content which I prepared by using React. So my content placed inside the body. Okay, inside the div is placed inside the body. That's the reason my content is visible to the end user or not visible. Visible to the user or not. So I needed first a container. Some space is required. Terminology wise, I can say like a container. So can I take one div? Okay, can I say this is like a container? Terminology wise, can I say this is like a container? Now say this. Now I have a container or not? Got my point?
Sir, please explain it again, sir. I'm not getting it.
Okay, I have a container or not? Simple. Okay, I need to place some content inside the body. Okay, that's the reason. Just I place the div. Inside the div, I want to place my content. Okay. Okay, complete it first and then you can understand. Up here, okay, everyone. Okay, simply inside the body, I have a div. Okay, so inside the div, whatever you place, that is inside where? Inside the body. So that is visible to the end user or not? Okay, now say this. This is my div. Okay, here if I place some content, the content inside where now? Inside div. The div is inside where now? Body. So that is finally visible to the end user or not? Yes or no? Here also no, we can. Okay, let me refresh. Okay, edit it. Edit as HTML. Now here I want to place something like this. This is the content. This is the content. Hello world only can take it. This is the content. This is placed inside where? Inside where? Div. Div is inside where? Body. Inside the body, whatever the content is there, that is visible to the end user or not?
Yes.
Okay, now my question is, this hello world you have to prepare by using what? This content. This content you want me to prepare by using what?
Yeah.
By using React, right? By using React. So that now I have a empty container, empty space is there. By using React, I want to prepare the content. That content I want to place inside the div. The div inside the body. That is the reason it is visible to the end user or not.
Yes.
Okay then. Before React, okay, I want to do the same requirement by using JavaScript. I want to do the same requirement by using JavaScript. Okay. Now, if you want to perform some operation on any element, first of all, you required what? First of all, you required what? For example, if this is my Gmail. This is my Gmail link. Okay, just wait. This is my Gmail. Gmail link, I want to make it like red color. Then by using JavaScript, first what you require? If you want to perform any operation on any element, if you want to perform any operation on any element, okay, First of all, you need to get that
Yes.
element, and then you can perform some operations or not. So how we can get this element? Document.query selector, you can give something like this. You can directly get the element or not. How we can get it? Inspect. Okay, go to this Gmail. Now, if you want to copy this one, okay, if you can copy like this, double click on this one. See this. Now it's like edit mode. Now Control A, Control C, Control C. Go to console. Come on, document dot. What is the method you have? Query selector is the method. Okay. Now here you can use your attribute selector. Now see, you are able to get the element or not. Once you have the element, okay, then you can perform some operations like this, right? Style dot my color equals to red. This same like that. Here also I want to perform some operation. What is my operation? Just I want to add some content to this div. That is my operation. So first of all, can we get this div reference? Can anyone tell me, okay, the selectors for this particular div? Selectors for this particular div? Selector.
Body tag.
Class or ID?
Body tag.
ID is not there, tag is not there, body is there.
Tag
First,
name.
Tag name
Tag
directly.
name selector.
First child.
tag name.
First
Next,
child, sir.
div is the first child of my body. Div is my last child of my body. Top to bottom, if I travel, this is only the first occurrence. So first of type. Bottom to top, if I go, this is only the first occurrence. This is last of type. Body direct children. So body greater than div. Okay, body space div. Okay, these all are like selectors for this particular div or not. Yes, sir. So here you can say document. Okay, if I put like LOC, what is my answer? If I put like LOC, if I type LOC, if I click on this, enter. Now LOC treated like a variable. Is my LOC variable defined or not defined? If it is defined, it's okay. If it is not defined, you can get the answer like this. LOC is not defined. Okay, where LOC? Now if I write like this, what's my value of LOC? If you not assigned any value, then what is my default value for the variable? Undefined. Undefined. Where LOC equals to Hyderabad, what is my LOC? Hyderabad. Okay, here document is there. Document is there. It is not defined by you anywhere here. See this. Did you define anywhere? Okay. If you not defined, I'm expecting an error, but it is not giving an error. That means what? Some other person already defined or not. It is not defined by you. Then that time you may get the output is like what? It's like a document is not defined, but it is not getting, okay, you are not getting that kind of error, right? That means what? You not defined. At the same time, you didn't get any error message. So some other person already defined or not. So JavaScript people already defined this variable. Okay, that variable is what? Document. We can say like what? A predefined variable or not, which you not created. That variable contains what? The document is a variable which pointing what? Pointing to what? All your elements in your, okay, all your elements in your elements tab or not in your JavaScript. Yes or no? Whatever my elements tab contains, okay, all I can represent by using document or not. Yes, sir. How many elements are there in the document now? How many elements are there in the document? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 elements are there. My required element is what? My required element is what? I required what? Div. So among those 4 elements, my required element also there or not there. So I want my div. Okay, from where now? From my document or not? So because my document contains all the elements, I required my div from the document. That's the reason can I ask, okay, document, okay, from my document, I needed a div by using, okay, query selector. Query selector is a function. So document is what? Which type? Document is what? Document is what? Which type? Type I'm asking. It's a variable. Okay, document dot query selector is there. What is this type? What is this type? The type is what? If you click on enter, see this? F. F means it is a function or not. F means it's a function or not. Okay. If you have a function, what you can do? If you have a function, what you can do?
We can call it.
If you want to get the service, you have to call it. Call it. Okay. Read this error message. What is that? Failed to execute query selector on document. One argument is required, but only 0 present. What it means? My query selector is expecting how many arguments?
At least one argument.
One argument, but you passed how many? 0 or 0 or not. So it gives me an error or not.
Yes.
Okay. So can I pass one argument? That argument type is what? See this. See this. Okay. Observe here. Read it. The helper. What is that? Selectors or not? Which selectors? My CSS selectors or not? We discussed or not discussed all the selectors? Yes, sir. What is the selector? What is the selector for my div? Tag name is my selector. Tag name is my selector. Okay, so don't put directly div. Okay, your selector should enclosed with a either double quote or single quote. Selector is a string format. Now, see, are you able to get your div or not? Yes or no? Once you have this div, okay, you should have to call, okay, you should have to perform some operation, right? What is my operation? I want to keep my, okay, text, my content. What is my content? Hello world content or not? Yes, visible. Okay, now can I go to my elements? See, my div is this one. By using JavaScript, I placed this content inside the div inside the body. That is the reason it's visible to the end user or not. Now, at this moment, you prepared this content by using React, by using JavaScript. JavaScript or not. So can we write that code here? How we can write it? Okay. In your HTML file, okay, it's a main file is like HTML, right? Main file is like HTML. 1 second. Come back. So inside the HTML, if you want to write some CSS, how you can write it? Inside the HTML, if you want to write some CSS, how we can write it? How we can write it? Inside the HTML file.
Inline.
CSS internal styling, you can write it. Inline, you can write it. But inside the HTML page level, if you want to write, then the time you can go with what? Internal styling, right? Yes or no? Page level, if you want to write CSS, you can go with this approach. At the same time, if you want to write some script, JavaScript at page level, if you want to write some JavaScript at page level, okay, then you can write like what? Script to tag. Then you can write like a script to tag. Okay, it is a kind of, you can say like a internal scripting. It is like internal styling, right? I can say like this is like a internal scripting. You got the point? Same like that, inline scripting also there, external scripting also there. We'll see later. This is like internal scripting. So here you can write some code, JavaScript code, you can write it. Okay, come on. What is your content? Which content you want me to place inside this div? Hello world. So hello world is my content. Hello world is my data. Where you can store the data in your JavaScript. If you want to store some data, where you can store? If you
In
want
a variable.
In a variable, right? So can I create one variable like a content? Okay, what is my variable? Content. Can I write like a hello world? You prepared some content or not? Yes, sir. Okay, can I say this is like prepare content? Once you prepare this content you have to place inside the container or not. So can I get the container reference? Okay, how we can get the container reference? Tell me. Document dot query selector of what? Div. Now this is my, okay, what it gives? It gives me what? It gives me what? It gives me what? Query selector method, it returns me what? Returns me, okay, the element or not. Element or not. Observe here. Go to console. I have a function f1. Listen carefully. Okay, here I have multiple statements are there where b equals to 20. Multiple statements are there. Okay, if you call this one, will you get any output? If you call this one, will you get any output? Will you get any output? No, just two variables got created. Now let me do the slight change here. What is that, you know? Okay, don't click on enter. If you want to go to the next line, shift enter. Return a plus b, I put it. If I call my f1, what is that? While calling a function, okay, if you see the value which is printed here like this, I can say that is like a return value or not. While calling a function, it gives me some, okay, it returns me some value back or not. While calling a function, it returns me some value back or not. Yes or no? While calling a function, it returns me some value back or not. Agreed with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, same like this, if you observe here, okay, how we can get the previous code? How we can get the previous execution code? How we can? Up arrow, down arrow. Now, if I call the query selector method, see, if I call my f1, here I am calling query selector. My f1 gives me what? 30. Okay, here my query selector of div gives me what? One div or not? Can I say 30 is the return value of my f1? Here, my element is the return value of query selector. Can I say like that or not?
Sir.
Okay. Any function returns any value. Can I hold with one variable? Can I hold with one variable? So can I say var equals to sum? What is my sum now? 30. What is my sum now? 30. How many times you want? That many times you can use it. Now the document.query selector of div also returns me some value. So can I hold with one variable? Okay, can I say like container, proper names you can give it, container reference. Now this container reference, wherever you want, you can use it or not. Yes, sir. Yes or no. So my query selector method returns me one element, in this case my container. So can I use that container reference here? So I'm able to get the container reference or not? Yes or no? Now I have the content, I have the container. What I have to do? I have the content, I have the container. What I have to do? Place content inside the container or not? Third step. Yes or no? Place my content inside the container. Okay, how we can place it? How we can place it? Okay, this is my container reference. dot inner text is like one property is there in JavaScript on my element div. Okay, what you want me to place content? So can I assign that content? Now can you come here? Can I refresh my page? Working or not working? Can I change my content to hello Sachin? Working or not working? Yes. All are agreed with me? All are agreed with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you prepared the content, render the content inside the container, everything you completed by using React, using JavaScript. By using JavaScript. Is it our requirement? Is it our requirement? It is not our requirement, right? Okay, but now you need to prepare the content by using what? Not by using JavaScript, by using React, you need to prepare the content or not. By using React, you have to get the container reference or not. By using React, you have to render the content which you prepare by using React, and you have to render that content inside the container or not. Everything you have to do by using React. Got my point? Agree with me? Okay, then. The next one is like, if I give like a ID here, okay, it's a root element. Okay, I can say like a container, place all my content. Can I say my container is like a parent, top level element? Yes or no? So terminology wise, okay, most of the times we are going to use like a root as a ID. Why? Because all the content we place inside the div is a top level parent element. So I can say like a root. So by using root, I want to take the element reference. How we can take it? How we can take it?
Hashtag.
Okay. Hash root. So you can get the output or not. Say this. Now instead of using this query selector, can I use with ID also? So document dot, don't write the code directly here. In the console itself, you can write it. Inside the document, we have one method is there. Get element by ID is the method. So it is which function? Okay, that means which type? Which type?
Function.
Function type. If it is a function, what you can say? You can call it. It is expecting how many arguments? One argument. So can I pass that argument here? What is that argument? Element ID. What is that ID? Element ID is what? Root. Okay, don't put like a hash. Why? Because okay, this is whatever you pass, that is treated like ID only. Then the time, do you want me to tell externally hash like ID? Required or not required? Not required, right? So say this. Are you able to get it or not? Yes. If this one is not there, then the time, what is my output? Is there any element whose ID is like root one? There or not there? There or not there?
Not there.
Not there. Not there. Then the time, what is my answer? What is my answer? Null.
It's not a function.
Null. Okay. Null. It is not finding any element whose ID is like root one, so that you can get like answer like what? Null. Got my point? Okay, then. Okay, not only get element by ID, okay, not only query selector, you can go with okay, name and tag name also. What is my tag name here? Div. So document dot get element by tag. Okay, get element by tag name. What is my tag name?
Division.
Div, right? Can you tell me why it gives me an output is like a collection? It's not gives me directly element, it gives me collection. Why?
Multiple divs.
Yeah, why means there is a possibility is there or not inside the body, we may find like multiple divs or not. Possibility there or not there?
Yes.
Okay, you can write multiple divs inside the body, so that how many divs, so whose element name is like okay, whose element name is like div, whose element name is like div, whose element name is like div, you can get all the elements. Okay, at this moment, how many elements are there? Okay, length is like 1, only one element is there. So the index is like 0, right? So can I get that div like this? Now you can get the div. Got my point? Agreed with me? Okay. So our next level discussion, tomorrow's discussion is like completely React. Okay, so far HTML you written. Okay, that is not my requirement. By using JavaScript you written, that is not my requirement. Now by using React, I want to do the same requirement. Very, very important session. Don't miss tomorrow's class. Okay, so can you do these things as an assignment? Go to uijavakit.com. Now complete this introduction, this video, and variables and methods also complete this video. The next one is like get references, complete this one also. Get element by id, get element by class name. Okay, query selector all. Okay, now my question is, can you write the difference between query selector and query selector all? Answer I want. Okay, and send it to my mail id. What is the difference between query selector and query selector all? You can find it Google, you can find it here with example I want. With the example I want. The difference between query selector and query selector all with example I want. Send it a mail. Okay, check in Google. Wherever you want, you can check it. But I need a proper answer. Okay, practice callbacks, practice functions, practice higher order functions. Okay, practice whatever we discussed so far in the console. Still you are not able to understand, drop a mail. Drop a mail immediately. Immediately drop a mail. If you're stuck with something, you have to practice. I didn't get a single mail also last 2 days. Okay. First do from your end something. Okay, then you can ask the questions. Without practicing, without doing anything, if you ask, that's not a right way. Okay, just do something. Send a mail. Okay, here I stuck. Okay, tell me. Okay, then the time we'll set up a one-to-one call also. No issue for me. But you have to practice. Without practicing, okay, daily asking like, okay, why this, why that? Okay, that is not a right way. Okay, practice from your end. Okay, if I repeat the same class again and again, first 15 to 20 minutes, then the time our timing is like only exactly 55 minutes, 50 minutes only. If I spend like 20 minutes for previous class only, then the time how we can complete this much syllabus. Got my point? Without JavaScript, there is no UI technologies course. There is nothing. Okay, you are not able to do anything. JavaScript, if you know, you can do anything. Okay, it may be today React. Okay, tomorrow there has some other library introduced. Okay, that one also you can easily understand, or Angular or something, whatever it is. Got my point? Okay, practice and send a mail if you're stuck with something. Okay, the difference between query selector and query selector all. Okay, that answer I needed. Okay. Okay, then thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Don't miss class tomorrow. Tomorrow's class, don't miss it.